was an exciting night. A lot of people thought that it was likely to happen. You could see the voter anger building up for months. And it was really because of all of this big government socialism. The buoy of it was probably this movement by parents who were being told by people like Terry McAuliffe that they shouldn't be involved in their kids' education. And he sided with the union bosses against parents, and the parents had the final say. And we're seeing issues like that, all of these big government socialism programs that are under attack. Voters rejected all of it. They rejected critical race theory. They rejected defund the police. You saw states like New York, Minnesota, not just Virginia, New Jersey, where the Senate president got beat by a guy who spent less than $10,000. That's a citizen grassroots movement like we haven't seen surely since 2009 and 2010 when we flipped the House last time and fired Nancy Pelosi. And to quote Kamala Harris, what happened in Virginia definitely foreshadows what can happen in 2022 and 24.
Yeah, you tell they weren't expecting that, because you're right. Kamala Harris had said prior to the election, said, hey, what happens the next couple of nights? This is prior to the election. We'll have ripple effects in 2022 and 2024. Now she's going, oops, well, I shouldn't have said that. They brought out the big guns, though, didn't they? They brought Obama, they brought Biden's, they brought Kamala, and then finally, and Congressman, I think this was the nail in the coffin of Terry McAuliffe. The last person to speak on his behalf was Randy Weingartner, the chairman, the boss of the teachers' unions. He really doubled and tripled and quadrupled down. And guess what happened? Parents mattered more this time.
That's right. You know, when you look at the big government socialists, they've always had disdain for people making their own decisions. They really do believe in government control. You know, whether it's Obamacare, if you like what you have, you can keep it, was a lie. They always intended to take away your plan if they didn't like your plan, and millions of people saw that. Here you had teachers union, the union bosses saying that kids shouldn't be in school, even though the science said kids should be in school. The parents were begging these school boards at the school board meetings, let our kids back in the school. And they were kicking out the parents. They arrested parents. They got the Justice Department through the union bosses to try to call the parents domestic terrorists. And at the end of the day, the parents had the last word, and it was overwhelmingly to reject that mantra of government knows best. It's government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And you saw the people show up in huge numbers. And I think you're going to see that again next year because Pelosi keeps doubling down on the failed agenda that Biden had been pushing for these last 10 months.
Now, Congressman, you're Steve Scalise, the minority whip. You know, I'm going to go out, it's not too much of a leap to go out and say, I think a year from now, we're going to be talking to you again as Congressman Steve Scalise, the majority whip, if not higher ranking as well. So I don't know, one of your colleagues, Kevin McCarthy, said that he expects it could be a number as high as 63 House seats flipped in favor of the Republicans. Where do you stand on this? And by the way, our audience needs to understand, that's your backyard, because the whip means you're whipping votes. So you have to go and figure out how many. They're going to make your job a little easier next year, aren't they?
Well, look, I mean, we're not trying to measure drapes or anything. All we're trying to do is go out there and fight for the things that made this country great. And those things are under attack, Eric. You know, you've been vocal showing that. So many other people have been pointing it out. But Biden and Pelosi don't care. It's not like they aren't hearing the message. They just don't care what regular folks think. They're trying to pass trillions in new spending when people already said enough spending. The spending is what's causing inflation. You know, look at gas prices. We all know why gas prices are high. He shut down drilling in America. He begs OPEC to drill and Russia to drill. He shuts down pipelines in America and lets Russia have pipelines. Border security. We had a great secure border. He opens up the border and wonders why the border's out of control. He's doing all of this and people are rejecting it. And so I think a lot more seats are in play. You can see a playing field of over 60 competitive seats that are currently held by Democrats that we have a chance to win. Obviously, every race is going to matter. Your candidates matter. They've got to raise money, and they're doing that, by the way. But at the end of the day, to have that many seats in play that are currently held by Democrats, you know, we're going to win a lot of seats. You know, you need 5 to win the majority. You know, 6 would be great. 60 is possible, too. But there are a lot of Democrats looking in the mirror right now who've been voting for all this socialist garbage, who are looking in the mirror, seeing Terry McAuliffe staring right back at them. And they've got to make a decision real soon. If they vote for this multi-trillion-dollar tax and spend bill, they're going to be the next Terry McAuliffe.
Yeah, I just want to bring in, you mentioned Nancy Pelosi, and the good news is for Republicans or conservatives like me who want to see a Republican House and Senate, the good news is they're not smart enough to fix their ways. they're dumb enough to think that what they've been doing is the way they should go forward for another year, and they're going to get slaughtered in 2022. I mean, what's the definition of insanity? Do something over and over again and hope for a different result. Let's hope they do this, because Nancy Pelosi says, and here's the soundbite, control room, if you can roll the soundbite. Nancy Pelosi says, we're not changing our strategy. Listen.
They said Terry Republic, a great leader, and he was a great governor of the state.
Does he change the agenda for the House now?
No.
Are the negotiations wrapped up? What about immigration?
So getting slaughtered on the basis of woke identity politics in Virginia, a blue state, doesn't give them the idea they better change their way. This is good. This has got to be great news for you guys.
Oh, look, Eric, there was a saying after Hurricane Katrina, don't get stuck on stupid. And that seems like where they are, and they want to just keep backing up and going over it again. Terry McAuliffe was not a great governor of Virginia. They would have reelected him or elected him to another term. They rejected what his failed agenda was and was going to be. He sided again against parents, for union bosses. You got to pick a side in politics. They picked the wrong side. And I don't want them to be successful. I think we're going to win the majority regardless of what they do, because we already have the right policies that we stand for. I don't want them to wreck this country even further by passing a multi-trillion-dollar tax and spend bill that will kill jobs in America. It'll make it harder for people to start a small business. That people are just still getting back off their feet from COVID. We don't need another gut punch with higher inflation that will come with all of these new tax and spending proposals. So I hope we defeat it. We'll still go win the majority, but it seems like they want to keep ramming this big government socialism down people's throat, regardless of what people think. And people have had enough of it.
You know, I think Joe Manchin has now said he'd be willing to look at or sign a $1.75 trillion spending package, which would in effect be not the win they were looking for, certainly not the win they wanted prior to the Virginia election, but a win nonetheless may help them a little bit in the midterm elections. You said don't get stuck on stupid, a Louisiana term. Another stupid term from Louisiana, from someone that we know very well. We both know he resides on the other side of the political aisle. James Carville said, he came up with that. Remember, it's the economy stupid. That was his line. But he's now said, don't get stuck on stupid with this woke stuff. He's saying the woke stuff is what cost them the Virginia election. So he's basically saying they screwed up. They got to change their ways. But it doesn't seem. I'm not sure if they will. Will they be smart enough to listen to Carville?
They haven't so far. And look, James Carville is a friend, believe it or not. He and I love LSU. We both went to LSU and still cheer for the purple and gold. That might be about all we have in common, but we both have a really deep respect for each other. And when he says this, he was, by the way, one of the people screaming and yelling that they should not nominate Bernie Sanders when Bernie was about to become their nominee. And so, you know, when you hear him talking about all this wokeness and how the woke movement is destroying the Democrat Party, it seems like they want to keep doubling down on it. Look at the spending bill that they're trying to ram through. It mentions the word equity 39 different times. That, by the way, is their new code word for critical race theory and wokeness, and yet they keep trying to do it. They're trying to defund the police in different ways now. When you see vaccine mandates in some of these states, they know that maybe 20, 30% of the police force are police officers. So instead of saying defund the police, they do a vaccine mandate on law enforcement, knowing that that means they defunded 30% of their cops without even saying it. People are figuring this stuff out, Eric. They know what they're up to, and they rejected it. Look at the exit polling. All of that woke stuff, including critical race theory, blacks and whites revolted against critical race theory. People don't want to see hatred of America taught in our schools, and that the way you're born, the color of your skin determines your outcome. We've moved beyond that. We need to keep striving to be that more perfect union, and that means you should be able to achieve whatever you want. And education is the great equalizer. I'm a huge proponent of school choice, letting parents control the destiny of their children, not union bosses, or not if you happen to be in a failed school district, right. Your kid has no choice in life. You ought to have more choices for parents, and I think that's going to be one of those movements you see take off in the next year.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.